big implant.
Okay, let me make the YouTube live stream. Then we can start. Yeah, I think we have some people. Make the okay. Okay. Good afternoon, doctors. This afternoon is I'm very glad we invite the William Wang from the Spring to join our online webinar. I think I'm very excited about what we are good. Will what he will talking about the medicine. I don't know how many doctors know about that, but it's a very I think it's a very exciting moment in dentistry. Okay, right now, I know right now the big company like Straumann, Nobel already put the medicine products into their working flow. You know, so today we are. I'm very glad that the William Pang here to introduce the medicine to us. And also, the medicine will be fit our workflow in the Houston, our super GP training there. So I just don't want to say too much, and I give the time to the Will. Okay, thank you, Will.
Okay, okay. Thank you for the introduction. I know it's Saturday, so I appreciate everyone's time and attention. Today, I promise you, I'm gonna make it fun. We're gonna keep it very like open-ended, and I want you guys to ask me, just say whatever, like just unmute yourself, ask me anything as we're presenting, because I want this to be a like a conversation, right? So off the bat, I don't really want to talk about the 3D printing. I want to actually discuss the macroeconomic trends. What is happening to dentistry today? So number one, right, insurance reimbursement. Every year, the insurance they kind of do something weird. They're cutting insurance. I live in California, so guess what Medi-Cal is doing? Everyone got a letter. Everyone who takes Medi-Cal, which is 50% of California dentists, everyone got a letter that said, hey, in the next 6 weeks, crown reimbursement is going down 40%. Let me say that again. Crown reimbursement is going down by 40%.
Really?
Oh, does that mean, right? So now we have these conditions, right? Kind of like if it rains, you have to have an umbrella. If the insurance is gonna cut the reimbursement, what are we gonna do? What is our umbrella, right?
Mhm.
Now, I don't want you to answer it. I just want you to think about it, put it in your head. What's the other factor that's affecting dentistry today? I feel like everyone I talk to, I travel all over the US, they always complain. They said, oh my God, it's hard to find hygienists. Oh, it's hard to find staff, right? My front staff, my assistant, they stay for 3 months, they stay 6 months, then they leave. So that's the second problem. It's staff turnover is a big issue. Wouldn't you guys agree, right? It's a different environment after COVID. Third thing that I want to mention is, and I can't wait because I ordered some hair gel today from Amazon Prime. Amazon Prime is number three. Patients, they want everything done yesterday. They want it immediate. They want the instant gratification. So, in terms of what I see, that's a good thing, but that might also be a bad thing, right? So, again, keep those three things in mind. Insurance, it's going to be what number three will be Amazon Prime. Patients want it today. And then number two, staff turnover, right? So just keep those three things in your mind as we're going to go through. So, anyways, I'm going to get started. Today, I want to say a couple years ago, if you had digital x-rays, people would say, wow, doctor, you're fancy, right? You have digital x-rays. You don't have to do the CSI dipping in the dark room and you accidentally expose, someone removes the curtain and it messes up your x-rays. So having digital x-rays was kind of the big foray into digital. Now, today, I want to say about 70 to 75% of practices, they have intraoral scanners. I remember going to my dentist as a young boy and I couldn't breathe, right? They put the blue moose, whatever, PVS. I'm just sitting there, breathe through your nose. I want to throw up, right? It's just not a good experience. So I'm sure most of you on the call today, you're very familiar with the intraoral scanner. I'm not really going to go over the benefits, but basically you can digitalize your patient's dentition. Now, we are here to really talk about the printer, right? So the printer is not really the end product. The printer is actually a conduit. The printer is part of your armamentarium to allow you to deliver that patient care. And I'm gonna touch back to the three pillars that I mentioned, right? So I'm gonna say it again so that you guys have it in your brain. Number one, insurance reimbursements going down. Number two, staff turnover is at an all-time craziness. Number three, Amazon Prime. Patients want it right now. They don't want to wait because they can order their hair gel and it comes today. So between the scanning point A and the printing, there's something called design. So design is a big, big, big hurdle because no one that has a scanner would get into printing unless they can design it, right? Just because you have the patient upper, lower, and buccal bite, how do you design the night guard? How do you design the surgical guide? How do you design the printed, mock-up veneers and flipper or denture? That design is going to be like the highway. So I'm going to share with you that SprintRay, we offer a design service so that no doctor really has to understand any of the CAD. Acronym is computer aided design. So if you sit there, right, everyone in this room, you went to school to be a doctor, not to be a lab technician, to sit down and design. So we can handle the design. Your local lab can handle the design, and then they send it to your printer. Your staff just has to hit print. On the flip side, we also offer software such as our studio, which I'm going to show you in real time. We're going to put some dummy cases and show it to you every single step. If the doctor does want control, the doctor wants that autonomy to do the design. Let's say if you wanted to change the marginal ridge, you wanted to titrate the mesial distal contact, you wanted to deepen the fissures to accentuate the secondary anatomy, you can do that today with our free software. Now, last but not least is going to be the post-processing right here. Post-processing is important because everything that SprintRay, everything that we do, it has to follow that FDA workflow, right? Just because you print something doesn't mean it's finished, doesn't mean it's safe to put in the mouth. There's a little bit of intermediate steps after something has been printed. So for example, if you print a night guard, that intaglio surface has any excess resin, if we cure that right away, guess what? The night guard's gonna rock. It's not gonna fit. If you can wash it properly with the IPA, isopropyl alcohol, now you neutralize the excess resin. And then once you cure it, you get the strength values, you get the modulus of elasticity that our scientists, tested it to be. So again, this is an ecosystem, right? This has to start with the scanner. So if you guys don't have a scanner, I really recommend, thinking about it. Consider a scanner as the gateway to move into all the other digital. So our big one is called the Pro 2. It does everything. I don't really look at the specs because it's kind of like when you buy your iPhone, you don't really look at the megapixels of the camera anymore, right? You just like, I just want the iPhone. So for those of you who like cars, this is the same font as the font on a Porsche 911. So just a fun fact. Inside, if you guys are curious about how 3D printing works, it's going to be a swimming pool, right? I call it a swimming pool, but the actual phrase is called a resin tank. You're going to pour liquid, and on the bottom, it's going to shoot a UV light, right, at a specific wavelength, and that's going to cure the polymer liquid into your solid entity. So think about battleship. Battleship, everything is like a boat. In dental, everything you 3D print is going to be like an arch shape, right? Because it's going to represent your teeth. This is cool. I wish I was wearing glasses, but the optical panel, basically, as light comes, right? Traditional 3D printing, very accurate if you print in the center. But as you print on the corners, on the sides, you get distortion. You get something, you guys probably learned this in physics, the refraction, right? The theta. So I know water is like 0.33. When you're printing via the optical panel, think about this like glasses. So when the light comes at an angle, if you're printing something on the corner or on the side, it's going to make all the light rays parallel again. So it doesn't matter if you print in the center or you print in this upper left corner, you're going to get identical file fidelity. This is kind of just going over how the printer, it's a smart printer, right? It's not like just a machine. We have a barcode reader that tracks your resin, meaning it's always going to understand which resin, the correct resin's being done. We have the handle. The handle's going to prevent people from putting their fingerprints, the saliva and blood on the lid. And then we have a glass that's hermetically sealed. So again, it keeps it very hygienic in terms of using this machine chairside in your operatory. The other thing we have is a nanocure, and all of this is kind of cool to know. This is all background information, but when I jump into the live workflow, that's when it's all going to make more sense. So the nanocure, I like to think of resin as an enzyme, right? You need both heat, you need to boil it, and you need to shoot the UV light. You need both heat and light in order to polymerize or cross-link the photopolymer chains. That's going to give it that strength value that our scientists have tested it for. Oh, you have a question? Yep. Says Steven's iPhone. Okay, no question. Okay, so in a lot of offices, I'm from New York, right? So it's kind of like there's not a lot of footprint. It's always like, well, I don't have space. My office is like 900 square feet. I have like 3 ops. It's just where am I going to put all of this? So Sprint Ray, we understand. We said, okay, let's shrink the size of the machines because doctors don't really have a lot of room. There's a lot of talk behind nitrogen. Nitrogen is basically inherent in the air that we breathe in, right? Air has 21% nitrogen, 78%, oxygen. And oxygen, whenever you cure something, there's something called a oxygen inhibition layer that creates a stickiness. So we bypass that because you're heating it up. We're gonna heat it up as we shoot UV light. So you're gonna get a nice cure without the nitrogen. These are all of the indications that we can make. And yeah, I just want you guys to take a look at it. So I'm going to talk about each one and how it relates to your guys' business. Dentures. Every time we do a denture, why don't we just give the patient 2? Give the patient 3, right? How many times do they lose the denture? Because, your patient never loses or breaks the denture. No, I'm being sarcastic. Of course they do. So in order to give them another one, I like to think of the printer as a vending machine. I can go to the printer, I can just reprint another one. It's going to cost you minimal cost. Now the patient has another one. Think about this like the Amazon subscription model. You can subscribe to the hair gel every month. Night Guard, I like to say Night Guard solves your number 2 for your staff. We have a lot of offices in Los Angeles. We have over 900 Sprint Rays in Los Angeles. And most people, they like to give their hygienist, give their staff a little bonus. I'm not telling you guys to do that, but I'm sharing with you that they're currently, the offices in LA are doing that. So patient comes in, put on the bib, FMX exam pro fee. It's okay, it's a hygiene column, but you're not really being profitable. You can be profitable if your staff offers them an occlusal guard. You can offer them an occlusal guard after you scan them with the scanner. Wow, your entire left side is red, attrition, effraction, occlusal wear, right? Signs of bruxism. I can get you a night guard. The next question is, well, when can I get the night guard? If it's in 2 weeks, the patient says, I think about it. I think about it is worse than no. I rather they say no, right? But if you can say, I'm going to give it to you within 45 minutes after your prophy, you're going to have it, then it switches the conversation because now you're getting that Amazon Prime, you're getting it today. So you'll find that more patients will say yes, not everyone, because I'm being realistic, but more people will say yes. And then now my offices, they like to give a little bonus because you're making anywhere from $400 to $700 for a night guard. Can you give 10% of that production to the staff member that convinced the patient? Right? I'm not saying to do that, but now what does that do when your staff gets an extra $5 from another office, like in a different neighborhood? Now they're like, well, I like staying with my doctor with the 3D printer because there's incentives, right? So we're solving problem number two of the staff turnover. Now we get staff that stay longer. So they might not retire with you, but they're going to stay much longer. And this way you don't have to train someone new every 6 months. I'm going to talk a little bit about the model. I think today, a lot of people, they give like the goodie bags. So they give the floss, they give the toothbrush, the toothpaste. The patient, like, I'm going to Hawaii tomorrow, so I like it because then I can travel, I can use it. But the dental model, it costs about $2. Can you include the patient's dental model in their goodie bag? Let them go home, let them put it on their desk. People work remote, right? Let their spouse, their kids, their parents say, whose teeth is this? How come there's like gaps in this teeth? Right? Wouldn't you think that patient will come back 6 month recall? They bring the model and they say, doctor, well, let me ask you a question about this part of my teeth. So now we're not really convincing them to come back for treatment. They're actively coming back. So this is a very proactive way to get more treatment, done down the line. So you're planting the seeds for the next 6 months to 1 year. Print the model for all of your patients. Surgical guide. I remember before when you guys would because everyone here places implants, right? But sometimes you might have thread the lateral. You might have a thin, phenotype. You might have it close to the sinus or the IAN. Doing it with the guide, you can do it prosthetically driven. You know where the final crown's going to be before you even place the implant. So guides are very important today. You can also, ensure safety, ensure that the patient's going to get exactly what they came in for. For crown and bridge, I would say partial coverage right now is a big, biocompatibility, being a biomimetic dentist. Here's the question to think about. Doing a 6 to 11 temporary bridge or doing a 6 to 11 veneers, temp veneers, how would you do that today? You guys can all do it. Everyone here can do it. It's just annoying. It's not fun. It's a lot of little, it's finicky, right? You have to finesse the material and it's not perfect. But today you can print all of that and it fits perfectly. Doing the crowns, hey, all our crowns are ADA. You can bill D2740. Delta Dental will reimburse you on that. Veneers, we're printing veneers now. I mean, if you can use it as a hybrid approach, maybe for the 6 or 8 units, you send it to your ceramist. You can print the corridor, you can print all the lowers. So kind of help your patient get into the treatment today versus them having to save up money, right? Because interest rates are high right now. But they save up enough for your FMR for your 20 units. Oh, something happened to my car, something happened to my cat. So get them in today, get the treatment done today using the power of 3D printing. IDB tray, if we have any orthodontists, this is to preemptively load the brackets and then the ortho staff can just cure them on. Hybrid, you guys do a lot of all on X. You can print the teeth because when the patient come to you, it's not really the implant. They're going to a wedding next Saturday. They want to be able to smile in the photos, be able to laugh with their kids, right? So the hybrid, you can do immediate load, passive fit to the multi-unit, but that requires a little bit more other technology. So yeah, but we'll keep it basic today. I'm gonna talk a little bit about the Midas. So I want it to be interactive. So if anyone has a question, just chime in and I can answer it right away. But the Midas, think about the Pro 2 as a coffee machine. It could do everything. The Midas is an espresso machine, espresso pods. So you're using a little capsule to vacuum press, not print. You're gonna 3D vacuum press your restoration. And if you look at this, I feel like a lot of websites make this look like like it's a big machine. It's actually the size of a little air purifier. It's 24 pounds. It's about 18 inches high, right? You can print multiple capsules at the same time, which means if you have multiple crowns or if you're doing quadrant dentistry, back-to-back class twos, MODs, that's all possible. Inside the technology, we call it a DPS. So we're pressing it. So you never grab a rabbit by the ears, but you see the top part of the handle, right? That's actually going to compress down on the capsule. And you see this black cylinder where my mouse is. That elevator is going to go up at the same speed and time as the white part is being pressed down. On the bottom is similar with the UV light technology. We're converting the polymer liquid into your crown. So it starts by scanning the QR code so we can identify the type of material. Today we're printing 60% ceramic. Our predecessor was 51% ceramic. The other filler is going to be amalgamation monomer, oligomer, and photoinitiators. Inside, we're going to have, excuse me, inside we're going to have the crown that we can pluck upwards. So you hear a pop. And on average, it takes about 10 minutes to print. This shows like the anatomy. So the plunger is being pressed downwards as the platform is being pushed upwards. So we're using Pascal's principle, P1 equals P2. And every time we print, this material is very viscous. When I say viscous, when I wash my hands, water, low viscosity. I put ketchup on my French fries, ketchup, medium viscosity. Everything we print on the Midas, this is almost like a peanut butter. This is almost like a toothpaste. So in a traditional 3D printer, you can't print it with that print platform. Instead, we have to create a vacuum seal inside a capsule. So the benefits is it's very clean. There's no smell, right? Inventory control, you're not buying $500 bottle of A1, 500 A2, $500 of A3 and B1 and bleach, and you can just buy individual capsules. So it's very, very cost effective. I like Ivoclar. Ivoclar is over 100-year-old company. They're based in a country called Liechtenstein next to Switzerland. They saw the technology, they saw the materials, and they said, you know what, we want to partner with you guys because we believe that this is the future. The future is now. And we're going to come up with a bonding protocol. So bonding protocol is already released by Ivoclar, who validated our 3D printed material for the final crown, for the final inlay onlay. So that gives a lot of clinical insurance, that gives a lot of credibility behind the material science that we're offering in, throughout a lot of countries right now. If you want, just reach out to me. We can do an ROI calculator. It's just doing night guards alone is very, very profitable. Like we know a lot of people's numbers, but it takes you about $6 material to do a night guard. and you're selling it for 500, right? That delta is you're making 500 bucks essentially. And you do one every day. If your office is open, let's say 200 days, and you do one night guard a day, that's 100,000 in extra production that you would not have otherwise. So what does that mean? That extra money, you can either cut your hours back, you can take more days off, right? You can give every one of your staff a raise so they stay, right? You can invest in other technologies. You know, you can buy a new car. There's a lot of things that you can do with the money, or you can just save it. So I'm gonna close this, guys. I'd like to show you the software to do Midas. So everything we do on SprintRay is gonna be on the cloud. Okay, so I'm gonna click on Studio. Oops, is it going? Okay, so oh, what's going on? Let me see. Okay, so this is working. Now I'm gonna add a new treatment. We're gonna do bonded restoration. Very soon, you're gonna be able to do implant crown and surgical guide. So I'm just gonna put, um, I'll just pick on you, okay? You can be our patient. And over here, I'm just gonna put my files. So let's see where I can get my files. So guys, this is not pre-recorded. I am doing this in real time so that you guys can appreciate the workflow. Anesthesia, prep, scan. Now we're gonna upload our files. Let's see. What's my stuff? All right, I can't find files, but let's go to a case that we've already done, and I can kind of show you from the second step. Okay, we're gonna do this person doing a number 3 full contour crown. So several different things. CAD software wise, I like to think of it as there's a lot of software out there. Software UI, user interface, it can either be looking like you're driving a car, you know, a couple buttons, steering wheel, turn signal, change the AC, change the radio, easy, right? Put it in drive, put it in reverse. Versus other software out there that's very advanced, made for a lab. It's gonna be like flying a plane, you know, pitch, yaw, turning, right? You gotta, there's in a plane, there's hundreds of buttons and permutation and combinations of what you can do. For clinical chairside restorations, I don't think we need all of that. We're not really designing an all on X hybrid. We're not designing a denture. We're just designing a very simple crown. So you'll notice that the AI is pretty spot on with the margin. I like to think of the margin as you don't want something like this, right? You don't want it to overlap. But the margin is also like a dream. I had a good dream about, you know, I'm swimming, I have dolphins swimming, and I'm gonna forget that dream. But if I wake up and within 5 minutes I can record and write down my dream, now it's locked in forever, right? I can immortalize it. So in the terms of doing the margin, right after you guys prep, you guys should mark the margin. Because think about it, sometimes you prep, you send it to the lab has to guess, right? You don't want them to guess because they're gonna send you back a crown, it doesn't fit, contacts are, you know, open, right? The crown is super high, and if you adjust it, you're kind of violating minimal thickness. So anyways, we mark the margin with the red lasso. We're gonna hit next. And again, this is not like flying a plane with a million buttons. This is like driving a car. You have enough buttons to get you to your destination. And as this is loading, After the doctor marks the margin, everything else could be delegated to your staff member. This is important because that second appointment that you would have the patient come back to get the final crown from the lab, I call that opportunity cost. Opportunity cost because you can have second appointment, you can have seen a brand new patient, right? More production, or you can have just like kind of relaxed. But instead, because you guys are doing the temp right now, you don't get paid. You can't bill it today. You have to bill it and get paid when the patient comes back to get the delivery. So right here, this is my crown. Yeah, you have a question? Okay. This is my crown. I like to just follow three things. It's called FOC. F is fissure. So I like to look at the fissure and I like to match the adjacent anatomy. So this person has pretty worn down teeth. So I can just kind of make the anatomy a little bit more flat. You see that? I smooth it out. O is occlusion. So occlusion, I'm gonna look at it. Yeah, this looks pretty good. I'm gonna look at it from this side. Okay. You do want to have some contact, right? So we do have contacts here. And then yeah, you have a question? Okay. And then C, right? I said FOC. C is gonna be contacts. So I can look at the contact, the mesial contact, not bad. You have a little color to show you don't want red. Distal contact, this is pretty good too. But most of the times you don't have to really touch it. It's going to be spot on. But let's say if you do want to touch it. So let's say I want to broaden the contact, right? Look, I'm going to mess it up because I brought in the contact. I'm going to make it very hard. So watch this. You see that? Red. I shouldn't have touched it at all because now I have to smooth this out again. So I can go back in here. I can match my sniper laser dot like this. I can smooth it. I don't want tangerine, but the yellow green is good. This is good. And when I look at around the cervical, I just like to give it a little light polish. You see this? Just kind of smooth it out a little bit right here. Just kind of digitally polish this a little bit so it looks very homogeneous, very smooth. I do really like this material because when you polish it, you increase epithelial cell attachment, especially if you do implant crown. It also has very good tissue adaptability because when we print it, it's non-porous. It's a homogeneous surface finish. And the gums, they really like it. It's not like a Luxatemp or Bisacryl that feels like barbed wire for the gums. So you get minimal inflammation for these crowns. Then I'm gonna send to print setup. I just showed you single unit crown, but you can also do multiple class twos and big MODs. You can do partial coverage. That is all possible on the studio. So this part is like parking a car, right? I go to Costco. Oh, there's an empty parking spot. I'm gonna go here. Add. And this part, because this in 3D printing, we call this nesting. So imagine yourself as a bird. And this is the wrong printer, so we're going to change it to the Midas. So the Midas, we're going to have kind of like the Squid Game, right? Squid Game logo is going to be on the triangle. I'm going to confirm. And you see the bottom left. The bottom left is like me driving a car. I'm going 60 miles an hour. I'm going, west direction. I'm using, 5 milliliters of fuel, right? So it's going to tell me that this number 3 crown is going to be 12 minutes to make, 1 milliliters of resin. And if I wanted to, I can print 3 other crowns simultaneously. And I can deliver them all to the same patient, different patient. So I can send this to the printer. And I can select one of the printers that I have and just send it. Now I'm gonna move on and show you the big printer. So I'm gonna add Dr. Sway, start new treatment. So anyone here ever take Uber, right? Uber takes you from point A to point B. As I mentioned earlier, point A is your scanner. You scan someone, you get the data. How do you get that middle part? That middle part is the design. So today we help you with the designs to get to point B. Point B is the printing. And over here, you have different options of us to design. So for example, sports guard, AI retainer. Now let me ask you guys a question that's rhetoric. You don't have to answer it. If you had to design a retainer without sprint ray, how would you do it? Okay, I'll tell you how. You have to buy software. Just because you bought that software, now you got to buy a very fancy gaming computer. Okay, now you have the software, you have the computer, you don't know how to use it. Well, yeah, it's easy. You fly to Las Vegas, you take a class. Okay, cool. I've done that. I spent a lot of money already just to do a retainer, but the retainer is free. We can design the retainer for free in less than 5 minutes and it comes back to you. So the question is like, why would you even buy software and learn how to do it and buy a computer and try to teach someone when the AI can do it for you? I would say better than humans. If you don't want AI, we also have the manual design, which we charge a nominal fee. The night guard comes back pretty fast too, AI. We can do flippers, the Valplast removable. That's a game-changing workflow. Dentures, copy dentures. We can do over dentures. Models, we can create the articulated hinge to simulate the occlusion. Hybrid dentures for all on X. Implant surgical guides. We can move teeth just like Invisalign with the clear aligner therapy. It comes with 2 refinements. So instead of just giving the patient 30 trays, you can give them 10 trays. After 10 trays, you can rescan and we can reevaluate how their teeth are tracking. If you need a refinement, we can do it then and give you the next 10 trays. This way, it just makes your practice very efficient. Because sometimes when you plan for clear aligner, it's not 2 years. It actually takes like 2.5 years because there's refinements, right? Smile design, you can print the veneers before, show them what their teeth can look like. But yeah, I'm actually in a lab right now. So you know what I want to do? I want to walk around with my computer. So let me change my background really quick. And
Will, I have a question here.
yeah, you have a
I
question?
saw you design a molar crown.
Yeah.
That crown is a permanent or temporary?
It's considered a permanent by FDA and ADA.
Okay, yeah. I used to did a lot of the crown with the rodent 1010, but sometimes some good, some before for the patient no problem. If the patient have a heavy bite, I feel that's not that strong enough for the molar. How about
You're
the rhinomatics?
Yeah, you're correct on that. For the Midas, we have a 60% called HT, and
Hmm.
that's gonna be like way better than the original formulation because I believe the Rodin, I can't comment on that, but our first generation ceramic crown, it had a lot of wear on the occlusal. So the HT is gonna be a better performer than the ceramic crown, and that's due to the increase in ceramic content.
Okay, so can you compare the zirconia Emax? What's the level right now? You're talking about the Midas HT.
Yeah, so I sure. So zirconia, it depends, right? Like zirconia has a thing called yttria. So 3Y zirconia, 5Y zirconia. The more yttria it has, the more aesthetic. However, the more yttria also it makes it, less in megapascal. Now, when we look at materials such as Emax and zirconia, Emax is about 500 MPa. Zirconia depends on yttria. It ranges from 900 to 1200 MPa.
Hmm.
So we'll call it like 1,000 on average. My question to you is, what is the natural MPa of your enamel? You don't have to answer that, but just something to think about. So we're
Uh-huh.
giving the patient something that's unnatural. There's no teeth in human unless you're like Shaquille O'Neal. No, even
Okay.
then, there's no teeth. That's 1,000. So the reason why we're doing 1,000 is we're thinking it doesn't break. But guess what? I've seen a lot of zirconia crowns break, right? So it just it doesn't make sense to me. And then we looked into the science. The scientists, they said, oh, I know why. Zirconia has to be very strong because there's something called modulus of elasticity. You know, the flex, the give, like a bridge, right? A bridge has good, because the bridge has a lot of trucks that go on it, it has to bend. It has to come back like a rubber band. So zirconia, it has to be very, very high MPa because the modulus of elasticity is going to compensate for the lack of that. Now, when we compare it to our crown is about 200 MPa. But if you just say the numbers, right, a lot of people, they unfairly judge you because they say, oh, small, weak, oh, 200, that's nothing, doesn't last, will break. But then you realize it's 200 because we don't have to have it be 1,000. Our company, we're not trying to make a crown that's 1,000. That's just, it doesn't make sense for us. What we're trying to do is there's a lot of flex, there's a lot of give in this material. So we noticed that clinically in vivo, there are no fractures. If there's a fracture, it's because the doctor under reduced on the occlusal and they violated minimal thickness, which, you know, for a lot of the manufacturer instructions, we recommend just following it to a T. If you're not using the Ivoclar, dual cure cement, and you're using something else, then hey, guess what? That crown, we can't really guarantee that it's gonna, because you guys are not you guys, but my other doctors are introducing other variables that we did not test with the science. Now, if you have Ivoclar validating us, you know, you have now GC America validating us, it's a big, big confidence for restorative dentistry, right? And again, the material science is only going to get better and better and better. So everyone's waiting for the 10-year study on the ceramic crown. The ceramic crown has been out for about 3.5 years. Hey, guess what? The HT just came out about 2 years ago.
Mhm.
So, you know, the study, what I'm saying is the studies will never catch up to the material because by the time the 10-year study comes out, you know, knock on wood, I don't think we're making the ceramic crown anymore. I don't think we're making the HT anymore because there's going to be new materials that are released. And the more we understand biomechanics, we understand biomimetic dentistry, biocompatibility, how the form and function of your restoration, the better we're gonna, you know, as professionals in the field, right? It's kind of giving your patient what you would give to your mom or your dad. I'll give you an example. Root canal treated teeth on number 3. Are we gonna put a zirconia or would I rather put a hybrid ceramic like a sprint ray crown? Let's say I put a zirconia. That zirconia is gonna be like a metal helmet. You get into a motorcycle crash, the helmet looks brand new. Guess what's your skull is smashed, right? Because the force vector is going to travel, it's going to propagate through the material, and the material is going to transfer it into the underlying natural structure. So the purpose of restorative dentistry, the restoration is supposed to protect the natural, you know, roots, the natural prep. We don't want the restoration to be like a metal helmet, right? We want the restoration to be like your rear bumper. You ever get rear-ended on the highway? I want my bumper to compress. I don't want the force to go into my body, right? So think about it like that. Think about it in the case of
Mm.
a implant crown. You check the ISQ, you can do immediate load. Do you care more about the implant osseointegrating, getting primary stability, or do you care more about that provisional implant crown to not break? Right? I rather have the provisional implant crown break and the implant is safe. It protected it like a motorcycle helmet.
Yeah,
So, yeah,
yeah. Thank you, Will. That's a very important
right, yeah,
information. Yeah, right now, this time in the Houston, our Super GP training, yeah, this the Dr. Shui bring out the concept because Dr. Shui did a lot of the endocrine,
Yes,
even
yes.
20 years ago.
Hmm.
He just used the Serac, to do. Right now, I did a lot of the endocrine. I use the Serac to zirconia, or even sometimes use the hybrid. I think that the HT will be the very good option for us to for the endocrine. Yeah, that's what we try to bring in
Right? Just
the medical
different.
support. Mm.
Exactly. So yeah, I mean, basically what I'm saying is this machine is not like a magic hammer. Like everyone that comes in, you guys play whack-a-mole at the carnival. It's not everyone 3D print the crown 3D. No, no, no. This is selective. You got to do case selection. Patient, has to be the right patient, right case, the right variables, right? The other way I really recommend a lot of my clinicians is if this is the first crown that a patient has ever gotten, right? Because we understand that zirconia is going to wear down the antagonist over time. I rather have the restoration wear down versus your natural antagonist tooth.
Yeah,
So
another thing is you just talking about the bonding. You see the Alclava have the bonding system. The zirconia bonding to the tooth not that good like the resin ceramic bonding to the tooth. Is that right?
resin, ceramic bonded to the tooth, it's the same bond strength as lithium disilicate. That's been proven in the literature.
Yeah, yeah. Hmm.
But this is the protocol. Basically, you try it in, right? You're gonna do air abrasion with 50 micron aluminum oxide. That's gonna give it that mechanical edge. You're gonna try it in. You're gonna do like an Ivo clean. It's like the purple eye drops. That's gonna remove the proteins. It has an affinity for phosphates, so removes the proteins. Then you do the adhes universal 20 seconds. You air thin it out, right? And then over here, it tells you the other steps, but you do want to use a dual cure. So I always like the analogy of the three little piggies, right? One of the pigs, they build their house with the brick. The brick is not on top of another brick. The brick has a layer of bonding agent. So every time we 3D print, we account for the cement gap, so we always have the restoration floating on an interface of bonding agent, and then there's the restoration and the prep.
Hmm.
Yep. So it's pretty powerful. Now I'm gonna share a little bit about where I see, the industry heading towards, where I see, how labs are playing into this, where I see how private practice and patients. I see that before COVID, 17,000 laboratory. After COVID today, there's about 5,000 laboratory. So the trend is that there's less labs, there's more consolidation. So there's consolidation on the lab side. That means there's correlation, there's consolidation on the private practice side. Private practice side, I work in New York, I work in LA. You see a lot of these big group practices come up, right? So we saw
Hmm.
that in the 80s and 90s with pharmacy. Pharmacy used to be like you own your own pharmacy, right? Compounding pharmacy. Today, every pharmacist, they almost work for CVS or Walgreens. We kind of see that for medical. You get an MD, unless you're a plastic surgeon, dermatologist, you're kind of working at a big hospital, you're working for a big group practice. Dentistry, I want to say is we have a moat, right? We have a castle and there's a moat with alligators. Right now, dentistry is still pretty autonomous. You're getting more group practices, you're getting more DSOs that are rising. So, whether you think it's good or bad, that's up to you to judge. But I think for us, right, for you guys, the technology, a medical doctor is not like, well, I just bought this MRI machine and look what I can do, right? Dentist is still the entrepreneurial spirit. It's still you get to control production, you get to control your schedule, you get to control who you hire. So all of these variables combined, right? If you went to like a McKinsey management consulting company, right, to say, hey, how do I become a better dental office? They say this to everyone: increase your top line revenue, decrease your expenses. So you have to realize what is going to increase top line revenue. It's to introduce new services, right? It's to expedite what you currently do. How do you decrease expenses? Well, it's to try to trim a little bit of your lab costs because I know cost of living, food, rent, staff, salary, everything's going up every year. So if we're keeping everything the same from 2026 to 2027, guess what? With inflation, with the gas prices right now, you guys are going to take home less money in 2027. So, in terms of the sprint ray, I mean, sprint ray could be interchanged with any technology, but I just recommend you guys consider, implementing a technology that's going to, again, increase top line revenue, decrease your expenses. It has to be easy to use. It has to be fast. Imagine if I sold you a pizza, microwavable pizza that takes 10 hours to microwave. That defeats the purpose. Then I don't even want the pizza, even if you give it to me for free. So it has to be easy to use, easy to delegate. Going back to the three pillars that I mentioned, right? It's insurance is cutting down every year. Staff turnover is at a very high rate, attrition rate. And then Amazon Prime, people expect everything done yesterday, today. I want it today. So in your practice, I want you to think about today. I know it's Saturday, so everyone relax, but I want you to think about things that I showed you today, how it can kind of help your office, or maybe it doesn't help your office, and how you can address those three things, right? So it could be any sort of technology, but I truly believe it's going to be printing. Printing in-house, this is going to get your ROI. We don't even really have to calculate the ROI. You can just imagine. Again, a night guard is $6 of material, right? Even if you're charging 300, you're making good production. Retainer is about $8 to make. You're charging more than eight. You guys are making good production. But I want to leave the next few minutes for any questions. And again, I appreciate Dr. Zhang and Dr. Sui for opportunity to talk to everyone today.
Yeah, we have some question in the chat. You see here?
Oh, let me see. Yes, maybe I'll see the chat. Okay, okay. So Dr. Guy said, can you elaborate on the cost to print an HT crown? Okay, so let me elaborate. The cost of a crown is going to be about $23.
Mhm.
Now, the next question from Dr. Guy, in terms of insurance claim, is HT considered a ceramic crown code or resin crown code? It is an ADA D2740. So ADA says billable as D2740. So I wrote that down so you can copy it or you can take a photo. Next question. What are the clinical implications you have seen use this HT material? How about anterior crown staining protocol? Okay, so again, this crown material came out about 2 years ago, the HT, that's 60% ceramic. We noticed that the wear rate is a lot less than the first iteration, the predecessor, the 51% ceramic crown. But again, we don't know yet because the crown material is still developing very fast. We like to say the big horizon we're using this now is, again, endo crowns, provisional implant, immediate load, partial coverage. If you're not shaving down that cusp, do a 3/4 crown, MOD. This material is already today superior to any direct composite. Because as you guys know better than me, direct composite, you get that polymerization shrinkage up to 60, 70%. This, you get methacrylate conversion up to 99% because you do it extraorally, you do it in the machine. Everything's already cured, and then you bond it in perfectly. And then you talk about anterior crowns. People are using this for anterior crowns, and they're using it for veneers. Staining protocol, there's a lot of different options. There's the GC OptiGlaze, there's the Vita Accent, there's the Ivoclar stains. And then there's the ID dentalis, stains. So you can use any of these light cure stains. I live in LA, so when we did the crown, I remember we printed two crowns for the primary molar, and one crown we stained the cervical, because the patient's a smoker. So like that brown, I put mahogany in the fissures, right? The patient also had enamel, dysplastic. It had like chalky teeth. So I stained it. I made it like a leopard, like white spots on the teeth. And at the end, the patient said, I just want the toilet bowl. I just want okay, fine. So I wasted 10 minutes making it look like their teeth. Yeah. So, anyways, okay, next question, Dr. Hui. Can you print? Oh, let me answer it in the order. So, Dr. Hui says, can you print the aligner and retainer directly or just the model and need to do the suction and cut out? Hey, Dr. Hui, good question. So the retainer is directly printed. I can show you right now on my screen. So right here, this is directly printed. If you guys are familiar with milling, the supports are synonymous with the spruce. As far as the aligners, I want to ask you a question. If I give you a retainer and you don't wear it for 3 weeks, your teeth have moved, right? And then you put the retainer that I gave you, the retainer, but that retainer now is moving your teeth back. Is that a retainer or is it an aligner? Right? It kind of gets you into this conundrum. But you guys as doctors can just print directly. You see that? Okay, hopefully that answers your question.
No,
I
I have a question.
yeah.
This is the you printed a retainer. Also, we can use if I can design the aligner, I can print that, use it as an aligner.
Okay, so good question. This is a gray area. I can only tell you that we are FDA for retainer, but remember
FDA
that
for
question.
retainer.
Yeah, but that
Mhm.
question I asked you earlier, right? I know some clinicians are using this as an aligner also. You just have to design it. But again, our FDA is only for retainer. Okay.
I guess
And
the
guess what?
Zhang's
A
question.
retainer is a lot. Oh, go ahead, Doc.
I think that the Zhang's question is whether your software can also help to do the aligner
Yes.
adjustment.
Yes, it
Because
does. Let
in
me
the
show
old
you.
days, I learned how to use the pressing of the bubble to move the teeth, and that was a while back.
Yes, let me show you that so I answer your question. So right here, I can do a liner. I can do upper and lower. Let's just say this is for me. Initial, just say diastema, proclined anteriors. Clinical condition, we'll just say class 1. We can say some spacing. We can say uneven. I want to fix the midline. And if I have like implants, I can't move them, right? So let's say I'm like a saber-toothed tiger. Midline, we always want to improve. So you can also say match with facial midline. So Tom Cruise doesn't have that. Overjet, thank you. See, you pay attention. Overjet, always improve. Over I see the question from Dr. Wang. Give me a minute. I will answer you, okay? Let me just answer this question about the ortho. So we're gonna close everything. Attachments, we can also do IPR. So pretty good canine guidance. There's just a lot of things you can do. You hit next. And then again, page 2, you always upload the files. And then what you're going to get back is you're going to get back a treatment plan in 2 days of all the movements and how we were able to move it. And we also require the Seth because, we don't want the PDL. The PDL can only reattach so fast. But yeah, hopefully that answers your question. Let me go to Dr. Wang. So for instant night guard, how do you know how much to charge a patient? Because some insurance covers, some not. Copay is different. How can you determine right on the spot? Well, good, very, very good question because not everyone here is, everyone here has a different type of business, right? Some people take insurance, some people don't. Some people fee for service, some people patient. Like my mom goes to a different, like another dentist, but she always says, "Does the insurance cover it?" And a lot of things that she wants done, the insurance does not cover it. So then she's like, okay, I don't want to do it then. But later on, she always pays the money to do it. Anyways, so it just depends, Dr. Wang, because your UCR, right? It just depends on the patient, what they're willing to do that day. I would say, as the clinician, you're the clinician, you shouldn't really be involved with the money part. That should be your treatment coordinator, your office manager, right? The doctor should always be removed from the financials, right? It should be someone on your team, your business person, that presents the financing, the payments, how much it's going to cost, like taxes included, all that. So I would say have your business person run an analytic. What they can do is they can call several offices in your zip code and pretend to be a patient and just ask the front desk, well, how much is the night guard? Right? Because now you can create a data point. You understand that, well, in my zip code, right? Some people charge 650, some people charge 700, right? Just kind of what type of practice are you trying to do? I would just maybe charge the average. And I wish I was drinking Starbucks coffee. Starbucks coffee is not small, medium, large. It's tall, grande, venti. For venti, for the big size, average Joe is 55 cents. You get the venti. Wow, I want the venti, even though I don't finish it. So in terms of the night guard, you can say, you know what? I'm gonna give you the venti night guard. I'm gonna give you two, or I'll give you three copies of your night guard, and I'm going to charge you a little bit higher than above average for my zip code, because now you take away the insurance, right? So that's what my mom's dentist does to her. He's always like giving more value, so she doesn't think about insurance, she doesn't think about price. So it's kind of like if I go to Best Buy to buy a laptop, and the Best Buy Geek Squad, they said, you know what, I'm just going to give you two, but I'm paying for one. Oh wow, that's such a good value, right? I don't care about the price anymore, or I think less about the insurance and the price. But yeah, hopefully that answers your question, Dr. Wang. Same thing for the crown. Yeah, some insurances, they need the pre-authorization, right? So in that case, you know what I recommend? Deliver the 3D printed crown, take a PA, document it on your EagleSoft, on your Dentrix, right? You wait until the pre-auth has come back and you can submit everything because you've already done the work. The other thing I like to say, I say this as a joke, but some patient walk to your office, you can kind of smell them. You're like, this person not going to come back for the final crown. I'm going to 3D print the crown, take the PA, take the intraoral photo, give them 3 chances to come back. And of course, they never come back after 6 months. Build them, right? If you delivered a 10th crown, you can't build them. You did all the work, you never got paid. Okay, Dr. Guy said thank you. Okay, I want to make sure Dr. Wang, your question is good. But yeah, just want to see if anyone else had anything.
Hi, it's me, Dr. Xue.
Hey,
William,
Dr. Shea, yeah.
thank you. I really appreciate, and also I admire you as a non-clinician. You can speak the knowledge, very well trained.
Thank you, thank you. I
So,
trained from yeah.
so my question is, from your clinician's experience, how long it takes to finish a quadrant, say, from start to finish, say, 2 premolars, or maybe 1 or 2 molars, MOD, just say MOD. Because earlier I did a lot of CEREC, like quadrant dentistry. I can finish from prep to cement, 4 inlay onlys in about an hour, to be exact, an hour.
Okay.
So I'm looking at
So
efficiency. So I think with the 3D printing, even should be faster, right?
so I'm not gonna comment on the prep speed because everyone preps differently. I'm gonna comment printing. Printing, I can print 12 inlays in 10 minutes. Okay. I
Uh-huh.
can cure 12 inlays in 9 minutes.
So that
Oh,
makes more business sense to our to we as clinicians. And then
well,
my second
yeah,
question for you is, uh, we did a lot of all on X stuff, but do see breakage. I mean fractures. So especially on those without the metal housing. So we use rodent screw and all that. We see a lot of breakage from that material. Is it because the design or the thickness?
it's the
What is
design. It's a
design?
combination of the design. So when I say design, if you do maxilla, the AP spread, anterior posterior spread, divided by the cantilever has to be less
Mhm.
than one.
No, no, no.
Sometimes when you're doing it,
We
yeah,
don't have a cantilever. We don't. The breakage usually
in the front,
either
right?
in the front or see on
Yeah.
those
So
MUA area.
yeah, so work, Dr. Sway, I'm actually at a lab. My friend does. He only does all on X.
Okay.
So I'm gonna have you work with him. He's gonna call you and give you some help. But he does a lot of 3-on-6, and that's not gonna break because
Yeah,
you're separating the
we
pieces.
that exactly. We actually this question I should share with my technician Luis. He's
Yep.
the one who designed for me most of my cases. So we kind of want to do some study together, see how we can fix this problem. So maybe let your technician contact Luis as well. Maybe we can put in a group chat. And we will have a live patient demonstration in the GP course in Houston next month. So
Okay.
hopefully we can get the correct answer before that. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I
Uh,
can definitely do a group chat. But yeah, I appreciate, the opportunity and your attention. Is there any other question before I leave?
Thank you so much. And then please send our regard to Chris.
I will.
I always believe that there's a fate. We haven't contacted him for 2, 3 years. Last week he walked into my office. I said, "Hey, what's new about spring rate?" So here's the good news. And
Uh,
Dr. Zhang and I, we kind of want to spread the good news among our doctors. Here you are today. I really appreciate that.
no, I appreciate it. And anytime you're coming to LA, let me know. I would love to, eat lunch or dinner with you guys.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Any questions?
No,
Okay.
yeah, I want to thank everyone, Dr. Hui, Dr. Wang, Dr. Guy, and Dr. Shui and Zhang for just, again, your attention. And I'm gonna give you my contact if you guys want to. Yeah, here, I'll share with you my Instagram. So I post a lot every day. I'm very active. If you guys want to follow me on this is me. So I do a lot of 3D printing every single day. I love hanging out. I love the social events, eating food. If you want to ever print the maxilla, I can show you how to print the maxilla. If you do quad zygos, like we can help you with implant crowns. Just contact me. I'm sure Dr. Sway can share my cell phone. Yeah, don't think of me as just 3D printing. I can help you with a lot of other things.
Yeah, I have a last question. I think I will. Okay.
Yeah.
Right now, I saw the Strawman and the Nobel and also collaborate with Spring Ray,
Yep.
especially for my dash. And they are just do the provisional crown or just use it for the final crown for their
Uh,
implant.
I I like using it for both. Again, it just depends on the patient and what type of expectation. So for example, I was talking to my friend in LA, right? He said Medi-Cal is cutting 40%. For Medi-Cal patient, that's like the Medicaid patient, they're very happy with the printed crown. A lot of my Beverly Hills dentists that they have celebrities, they said, hey, not every patient is a celebrity. You know, most people they're working, their spouse is working. They don't have time to come back. They have to pay the babysitter, they have to drive, right? Parking is expensive. They want to come in, they want to get something, and they want to go home and it looks white and it looks good and you know it's FDA, they feel safe. You know, we're making the materials in Los Angeles. Los Angeles is like, is that BPA free? Is that gluten free? You know, is that avocado toast? You know, they ask us, right? So it's very safe material. Actually, UCLA just got a Midas last week. They're teaching it for 2027 students.
Yeah, I saw the Peter Moy, Dr. Peter Moy here.
Oh, he's right here.
Yeah,
He's
yes,
right here.
yeah.
Hold on,
Yeah.
let me see. Yeah.
Peter, yeah, I have several collaborations
Oh,
with
Dr.
him.
Moy's right here. Look.
Yeah.
What up? Hey. You know
Hello,
Stevie
hey,
Gray?
Dr. Moy.
Yeah.
How are you?
Hi.
This is Jim.
Oh, you know him?
Let me open my radio, okay?
Yeah, open. Oh, wow.
Hi.
Oh, there he is.
It's a long time. It's you
Yeah.
know, before the pandemic.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
You doing well?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, I miss you. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. We should come
Yeah.
to LA.
I still remember last time you and I go to China. You know, remember?
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
Yep,
Good.
Okay.
yep. So that's my
Wow,
lab
wow.
guy, Adam. You know, Adam, he can help you with all on X.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Dr.
Yeah.
Moy, he can help you plan a lot of the case. So Janine's company Implantrix, she can
Okay.
actually help all of your members plan surgical guide.
Yeah.
And all of them will have a video by Dr. Moy.
Okay. It's so nice to see the Dr. Moy here. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So this
Okay,
time
guys.
we have the super GP training in Houston, Dr. Steven Swiss office there.
Yes.
So this time we try to integrate, you know, the endocrine and the quadrant dentistry to our teaching program, and also Dr. Steven Swiss will be demo the all on X, you know, for the printing from the design to the printing the provisional. I think it's a very exciting moment. So we still have some spot open. If you want to go to the Houston in May, you have to.
I do, yeah, I have to because I'm gonna be at CDA Anaheim in California, but I know it ends on the 16th.
Yeah. The ACDA is 14, 15, 16. We
Yeah,
are
yeah,
the 16, 17, and
Yep, yep.
18.
Yeah, so let me ask Chris to see if I, you know,
Okay.
because the schedule has to, I can fly, it's like 3 hours, you know,
Yeah.
easy. Let me ask Chris.
You
Yeah.
know what? Well, the reason we choose that time because for the CDA, we have a lot of the manufacturer from China here. After
Oh, they're
they
coming,
finish
okay.
the CDA, they will fly to the Houston.
Oh, okay, okay, then,
Yeah.
you know, let me ask Chris to see, you know, where we can fly. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but
Okay.
hey, that's a small world. You said
Yeah,
Dr.
small
Moore.
world. Yeah. I'm very glad here. She's the daughter.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
we do a lot. So
Yeah. Okay.
he has
That's-
all the Midas and spring ray.
修改之后，大家可能更容易理解一些，
Okay.
做了一些改动。
Okay, okay, guys, I'm gonna get
Okay.
going.
Yeah.
Let's
So
see.
yeah. Thank you, Will. Yeah. You can go to go with.
Okay, goodbye,
Yeah.
guys.
Goodbye. Okay, we have something here. I'm going to talking about the Houston, you know, with the Dr. Tree. Yeah, thank you. OK，我现在都是中文了吧？我们都是的。我现在说一下哈，因为我们这次呢去那个 Houston 呢，到那个薛老师那边的 training 呢，我们也非常感谢哈，感谢这个薛老师把因为薛老师跟那个 Spring Ray 的那个 VP 啊 Grace 的，我们几年前请过他们来在我们这个网课上讲过课。OK，那这次一来，因为我们这次是叫做 Super GP， 那 Super GP 呢，就是说所有的 dentistry 呢，我们找出一些比较这个 profit 比较高的这些地方来跟大家，不光是技术，也涉及到管理啊。那是每一个技术，有人说啊，我这个已经会了，我种植会了的。事实上，你每个技术你要是掌握了，这个就已经非常非常好了。那今天早晨，薛老师还跟我讲，我们说你比方说你要是这个 same day dentistry 对吧？这个 root canal，我们现在把 bring in 这个 medis，OK，当然我们也 talking about 的 millimer 信了，就 talking about，这是一大块。这一年我在临床基本是 full time，OK，那我就会发现，实际上，除了像薛老师，那我以前是 implant only for 10 years，nothing else，but 现在呢，我也做 GP，但是我做的过程当中，我发现这个，这 root canal，crown prep，这是这最 perfect 的，对吧？一天你只要是，来来两个三个。啊，我记得我们已经教过大家怎么做 root canal。那如果想学 root canal 呢，我们当然这次薛老师和我也会讲一些，但是不是主要的。我们主要是讲 root canal 之后我们做什么。OK，我们一个是用 Medis 的这个来做same day dentistry，再一个呢，薛老师已经做过很多很多的，这叫做 quadrant dentistry，这样有那个 amalgam 啦，或者这些比较大的 filling 啦，那我想我们来做这种 indirect restoration，那是非常非常好。那这个，那我们就想到这个 Medis 是 powerful，OK，这是我们主要 focus。同时呢，当然薛老师的看家本领了，就是种植了，软硬组织了和那个 f o r arch，那他会讲。我们不是说每一个都讲的非常详细，我们基本上是点到为止。当然，具体的技术了呢，我们薛老师会在，因为他那边有医生会有 live patient，在 live patient 上我们会有薛老师会做这些 demo 给大家，大家抓住这个要点就行了。而且这样式呢，各个领域融会贯通。那同时呢，那个道德会啊，他刚才问了那个aligner 那个事情，对啊，那我们知道道德会有4家诊所。那其中它的 aligner 是 individual 是一个主要的一个 profit 的这个 part，OK，那他也会讲这些 business 的 part 怎么来做这个 aligner。刀特涵今天也在这个，也是他会刀特涵的诊所每年的年产量单价也是相当的高。我们曾经在他那边有2次的 training，那这2次的 training 呢，我们也能给领会到，而且他和刀特会的这个 managing 这个 skill 非常非常好，会给我们大家 share 这些东西啊。所以说呢，基本上我们大家我们的基本我们所有报名的，我们现在基本的人员够了，我们现在还有几个空额，大家愿意的话，赶紧的就来报名。已经进到我们那个第一届 Super GP training 的呢，大家可以先订机票了，OK？那订机票呢，就是说旅店呢，我想薛老师是不是这个礼拜啊，下礼拜就跟你的 friend 把那个旅店的 link 给大家一下的。我住过那个旅店，3年前哈，当时我们这 NDPO 的时候非常好，非常好。那价钱当然给薛老师相当相当不错了，大家尽早订，好不好呀？然后呢，我们这周吧，这周下周 early 的，我们会给大家一个 link，大家来付钱，这个东西啊，我们基本上来讲，就是这次3天的 training 的，我们是2000块钱。那我呢曾经 promise 大家给大家送一套那个曲断小能手的，但是后来我看他国内的网上才300多块钱，后来他说哦，那我后来一看才是个盒子，OK，后来他给我们的价钱好像是3900块人民币，OK，那我们再跟他谈，我看我们在群里马上要跟他讨价还价，那我们基本上呢，我们就是说，如果说你要那个呢，我们就是500块钱，2500块钱；如果不要呢，就2000块钱，基本的整个的费用就这样式儿的，好不好？ 大家还有什么问题没有？对这个 training 有问题的话，我在这里的还有薛老师，慧老师、韩老师都会给大家回答这些问题。
哎，那个张老师，张老师在，那个
哎，你说。
听见啊？对，
啊，
我补充几个了，一个就是说，我们会 cover 那些 procedure，就是尤其对你如果是没有开展这些不会的话，你来，我我跟张老师一样，可能你学其中的一个没有开展的技术，就能够把你的这些来上课的这个 investment 就可以 return 啊，这是一个我们可以保证的。这也是我多年的经验。我其实出去上很多课，以前刚开业的时候，可是我们大多数时间他们讲的东西我都会了。可是我一个是 validate 这种做法啊，我觉得哎，我回来，因为我已经会了，我应该更大胆的做。然后第二就是每次去，哪怕我懂得很多了，我觉得总是从一个老师身上能学到一两招我不会的东西。所以这个就，even 现在也是平时大家在分享我，哎，我还是会学习到东西。所以学习是一个非常好的一个过程。这是第一。那第二想到的是，之前有来我们这边，那些女学生，她们因为晚上还想自己练那个猪头上面做一些练习，你也可以住在我们的那个有一个 apartment 就在我们那个教室的下面，有三房，男同学可能那个黄辉还打过地铺什么。那挺好的，就是这个大家在一起，交朋友啊，聊天的这个 experience。然后第三个，我今天又想到，我跟我朋友啊，我们成立一个那个anesthesiology 的那个 company，我们可以给那个 PACE 的 CE，所以这次可能还可以给个25个 CE。就之前有来的朋友上我们那个麻醉的那个拿到过那个 CE，看那个 CE 有没有用，我也不知道。我们上次是第一次发，如果有的话，我们可以按照我们的
那
teaching
个
hour
徐老
大
师哈，
概啊，嗯
我们这样式儿的，就是西医呢，一般像我们这样式儿的群领啊，你像比方说
嗯
pin号，一般是一天最好我们给那个7个小时，不是给满8小时。
一天7个，那就3×7=21，二十
二
一个，
十一小时，对，这次我们基本给那
嗯嗯
个薛老师那边儿定下来也有用可以，没有用呢，我这边儿也可以呀。这边儿
好
我们那个是 Unismile，上回我们在道特涵那边儿的
嗯
学生基本上也都是那边儿给的。
对
一开始我以为我们加州的好像不能给外边儿，但是
对
韩医生这春宁是在西雅图嘛，
是。
这个也可以用，就是我这次是反正21个小时的蜥蜴，我们肯定给大家。
然后再有这个 added bonus 是，因为这次我们可能会邀请一些厂家过来，就是我们争取给他们要到最低价给参加的学员，对吧？那你这个把你的那个 inventory 又满起来，又是一个好康的事情。我还能想到其他什么好处吗？反正，呃，大概
啊，
是这样了。我觉得大家应该是有收获，这次我自己都感觉会有收获给大家。嗯
呀，我们这回还有很多新鲜东西啊。那个今天本来是我想讲这个说明会啊，就是那个 AI 的这个东西，现在可能时间不够了。一会儿因为那个薛老师，这个魏老师要上课，所以说我们改在3点也是不跟魏老师那个课冲突。OK，我们还有一点时间，我们看看这个道德会和道德涵。还有我们2位老师有没有什么话跟大家讲？嗯，哎，
我没有了，我觉得挺
哎，
好的，呀。
OK，谢谢韩医生。OK。
谢谢各位老师的安排这次的课，觉得我对这次的课期望也蛮高的，一直也很想去薛老师那边看一下。那对于想问一下，这一次薛老师会讲一讲他的经营理念嘛？然后另外对各个 procedure 怎么样这个 present 的这个 case 让大家能够接受，比如说这个拼后technique 或者说一些 laser 之类的。
呀，我这个拼后呢，我来讲一下子哈。那个拼后呢，我们是这样式儿的哈，因为拼号是比较特殊，它那个有个器械盒，那是 Doctor 造的，它这个专利。所以说那个器械盒不在我们控制之内，所以它呢一般来讲是两个课程。我们上回呢，最后我想后来刀曹跟我们讲，我们是拿到最低这个 deal 了，就是说他给我们2天的 training，一般的他都是1天的 training，OK，完了7个小时的 online course，他那个 online course。如果说你有时间的话，是很好的，OK，他教你手把手的教你，一个是 video 一个 video 的来给你展示那个东西，OK，那个是7个小时的那个东西，所以那个呢，它是给我们的价钱。如果说我们是个 group 的话，我们比方说这次我们有几个医生报名，那他就会给我们399 plus 他那个 surgical kit。那就这样式儿的，那我们也算我们这次去了。如果说，然后在休斯顿呢，那个薛老师呢可能会，因为他平时这个东西，像这个拼号呢，在我的我们现在做呢，基本上来讲就是说，每周我都会做1、2例，有时候多，有时候，但至少能有1例了。因为现在这个东西呢也算是 cover 的，OK，但是我还没有做到一个全口的，像那个道德潮说一下的这个要12000的这样，但是我都是insurance，我们这边是蓝领阶层嘛，基本都是那个悲伤 insurance cover 是 from 400多块钱到800多块钱啊，是这种情形。完，患者有一个自付的额啊，1/3自付额。还是不错，还是都有效果，还不错呀。以前我都是做那个 Class Five 这些东西，那现在呢，基本上都是做拼号，我都给患者，如果是有 insurance，就 recommend 做拼号，就是这个东西呀，而且也简单嘛，对吧？这你知道这，一开始可能它有一点人情客户，OK，你如果说，像上回我不知道今天的谁夏冰医生在不在啊？那他呢就是参加了我们报名了，他是付的499吧，是599，是是参加了2天的，他没来参加两天，他只参加了 online。那1天呢？他说我这2天，他因为太长，他就找到这个4个月，4月份下个月可能薛老师也还过来，也是这个编号春宁嘛，因为他们也是愿意让薛老师帮他讲一讲这个拼号这个东西，所以说这样式儿呢，我们可以在休斯顿呢。我们找到病人，那个薛老师给我们 demo 一下子，大家有个感觉。如果说你参加他那个 online training 的时候，你就会有感觉，就来做。实际上我没参加春宁之前，因为我是外科出身的，我就大概要按照我想的，我就开始做。哎，做的有成功有失败的。我把我的 case 在这个春宁的时候拿出来，大家都笑话我。那没办法，因为到这朝呢从来不做输血，我呢做一做这撕开了我就做给它缝上嘛，就是这样的。当然薛老师做呢，他是这作为一个外科医生、种植医生，他会更有更多的 insight 给大家了，对不对？那个道德潮呢，他虽然发明这个东西非常好，但是他不是外科医生，他从来不做输血，就从来不缝针。OK，他不大愿意缝针，不。是这种情形，OK。所以说我换句话说，如果说你要是想学这个呢，是个机会。我们如果说我们当中有3、5个医生的话，可以的话，我们就可以叫薛老师跟他讲，他就会给我们。如果说只有一个，他可能不会给我们这个399的价钱。如果我们有几个医生，大家随时随地到了时间，我们可以请这个薛老师跟他们商量一下的，给我们一个 group 的，然后他会给你 open 半年的时间，你去上去，完了给你一个器械，你就可以练了。OK，基本是这样式的。
那这次上课的形式是主要是didactic，还是说好像听起来是有病人 demo 什么的？是临床上 shadow 薛医生吗？还是说怎么样的一个形式？
你说在那个 Doctor 潮那边在 吧？
在 Houston，所
对，
以是
我们
Super
休
GP
斯顿
training。
基本上是我们是
嗯
demo，因为我
对
们基本从外州来的没有那 license 嘛，基本都是薛老师 demo 这个。像比方说薛老师基本上已经准
我们
备病人。
会，对，我们会做一些 didactic 的部分，在 model 啊上面，比如说我会教你们rich split，可以在 model 上，在猪的，我会买那个猪头给你们练习一些 soft tissue、hard tissue management，怎样用螺钉啊，ridge augmentation 啊，当然很多东西你们已经会了，只是 again 让你们知道一下我的做法。还有就是张老师讲的，因为那个 license 的问题，你们除了德州以外，有的州不能弄 live patient。不过我跟张老师，我们接下来在今年恐怕还会办两件事情。一个呢，我们可能有个 cadaver，最近我跟那个青岛大学那个牙科的王一鸣他们，呃，可能7月份或者什么时候，我们可以在 cadaver 上面做 zygo 啊，做 pterygoid 呀，做 sinus lift，做拼后，你所有想做的东西，我们都可以在那个 cadaver 上面做，然后两个人share 一个那个冰冻的人头。这个是一个。然后张老师跟我们可能还会在危地马拉，那个是 live patient，那个是 live patient。这个我们一旦组团的话，我们可以 anytime 因为在我这边基本上除了 didactic 跟 live demo 以外，呃，基本上除非你有德州的执照，你来做 demo，那我们让你来做。可以在后面 supervise 一下，这个可以，因为很多病人啊，大概
我们
这样
有一些
说明啊。
有些医生去过那个薛老师那个
嗯，
爱希丁的 training facility。I think that facility is a top facility.
没
OK，
有，你不要那么
对，
讲，别给人家期待太高了，没有
不，
了，只
是
是只是
我说实话，我说实话。
没有
呀，
没有，
没有这个，基本上我们几次呢，大家都非常的愉快呀。
嗯。
这次我们是盼望，很多。哎，这现在是那谁，招待会我让你开着麦，你
I
有什
think
么？
I see Dr. Stevens' place is state of the art. The LCD is amazing. I don't know what else to say. I think it's really a
You
good,
never been
excellent.
here before. You never even come.
I just saw a picture. I saw
Okay.
a picture. I'm already impressed. I just want you to know that.
Thank
Okay.
you.
But I
Thank you.
think more importantly, it's just exchange, or learn some new ideas. And,
Yes.
like Dr. Stevens say, every time when I listen to some people, even though you learn something new, just like if he show us something like a split ridge or a little bit of a, pinhole, that really help, to give patient, because some patient doesn't like to have, connective tissue graft. Take it from the palate. I mean, most of my patients always complain very painful and all these other issues. It's just a much easier opportunity to do. And I think that's a really skill that you can possess that other people down the street cannot possess. And the fact that, we're all Chinese and we're willing to share, especially we're not in the same location. I mean, that part helps, the growth a lot faster, because I think just some ideas that we share can easily make you. And one time I go to AACA. I mean, I didn't talk to William. I listened to AACA about the Midas. They have a different guy presenting the case, and I think Williams actually do a better job. I don't. I see him. He actually do a better job than the AACA. But I think you learn a lot from these things because the reality he's saying is right. The reimbursement is limited. and haven't really changed for many, many years. How do you exponentially grow your practice? And that's really the bottom line. And I think if we can even make it passive, that's even better. And with Dr. Stephen, you do all quadrant dentistry in an hour. I mean, that's amazing. So that's the only thing that I can say. It's very impressive and something that we all should learn from. So,
Yeah.
so Dr. John, I give the mic back to you.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Hui.我想这次哈lot of things. Okay, another thing is except Dr. Hui and Dr. Han talking about and also Dr. 薛老师他们会 talking about the management. OK， 那我会跟大家讲这个 AI agent。这个 AI 呀，每天都在变化，你现在简直是不得了。但是呢，我们至少现在应该学习一下 ，OK， 怎么样不至于？因为现在有人讲，有人说最快 AGI 就是2027年就会到来，有人说到2030年就会到来。换句话是说什么呢？就 AGI 就是说，就是 Artificial General Intelligence， 就是通用智能普及了之后，就人类，你知道哈，这个工业革命把人的体力无限扩展了，对不对？你自动化车，咱们这个机械化扩展了，但是呢，AI 呢把人的智能大脑扩展了，这个扩展。大脑加智能，这个机械会是一个 big change， 这整个 whole world。
Brother, I think the time is already came. The time is already here. AI your receptionist will never remember what the patients called last year. None of the doctor here will remember. Okay,
Yeah.
but the AI will remember. The AI will answer the phone and know exactly what he told you last year on the phone at the same time. And then at a time that you never expected, the patient call at, 1 p.m., 1 a.m. at night, and then the AI will recognize it, sign off on the state on your calendar, and collect the copay and collect the consultation fee to make sure that they're gonna show up. It just makes the life so much easier. For the average people, I mean, most of the big players are already doing that, and that's why sometimes I couldn't figure out how certain patients come up with a 7,000 treatment plan, and I only come out with like a $1,000 treatment plan. I just don't understand how they do it, but they have a certain way to do it, and people accept those treatment plan. And I think that's the difference between a 7 times growth, and that's a major situation for some of us to really learn. And I think learning is really the key, just like when we go to dental school. And I think that's a very, very important concept. But I think that's for some of us to focus on, and I think for all of us to share.
Yeah.
I hope that makes sense.
I totally agree with Dr. Hui. Yesterday, Dr. Hui, Dr. Han, we meet together online. 那个我呢一直在，因为每天都在变，因为 Open Cloud 出来之后呢，我的思路一直在 Open Cloud 上边，但是before we talk actually before 呢，现在呢大家又用的 Cloud Code 又出来很多东西。那昨天呢，Dr. 韩又 talking about， 因为他是做 AI 的这个专家，他有个 team 嘛，他的 software 这 lab 系统 ，he talking about 的 Nino Cloud，OK， 这是挪威的杰森黄他们的 develop， 他们里面有 layer， 这个就更安全一点。所以说我们呢，基本上呢，我们是 follow 这个 trend，OK， 我们 try to， 我们现在的我想还有一点点时间啊，我就讲我们的 strategy 呢是现在是，我发几篇文章在我们那个团购里头了哈。一个呢是说我们是买这个 AI agent 呢，还是自己建 ？OK， 那我想呢，自己建需要 test 的，有这个 data 这个东西得需要时间。那我们的好处是这样，刀特韩那边的 Life 系的已经build up 了很多的，像 treatment plan 很多的revenue cycle management 都有很多了，是吧？但是呢，我们可以有现成的，像这 AI 呢，我们可以先用。然后我们自己呢团购，当我们团购我们自己的这个Mac Mini 了，不管你是 Pro 还是 Studio 了，然后我们不自己 local 我们安装上那个Llama，我们安装上 OpenClaw 或者 NinoClaw，再加上那个 LLM 大语言模型的话，那我们可以把训练我们自己这个 agent 呢，给他一些 skill，给他一些 memory 来 build up 我们自己。那这个东西像刚才刀子会说，是每天都在变化，每天都在变化。但是我想，之所以是每天都在变化呢，就是大家因为这个地方太快了。因为以前你想一想，你搞一个软件，找个工程师写 code 得搞个好几个月，但现在你 Cloud Code 几分钟、分钟就干完的事儿了，对不对？我们现在如果说现在你叫我做一个 APP，我现在我都可以做，OK，这是没有问题的，就是说你用这些 AI 来做的话，所以说我们这次呢，至少给我们的医生，我不是说在这里来秀我知道的多，而是说我们把一些比较实在的一些东西呢，给我们的医生，叫我们的医生至少有一个基础的起点。那现在呢，很多医生问我，我们现在呢，大家我还是建议大家用那个 Telegram，OK，因为现在 Telegram 跟你那个智能体的沟通是最直接的，OK，不像微信呢，微信我们现在可以进去，但是它里面有很多的这个设防。以后如果说我们用的 Cloud Code 可以，Cloud Code 可以模拟人 type，就像人是进去了，但是这 Cloud Code Open Cloud 呢，现在还是不是那么方便，所以说大家先用的 Telegram 的来做哈。我已经有那个 structure 在里头了哈。大家我们会从现在开始呢，我可能以后帮大家读几本书，这些东西来训练你这个熟悉这个 AI 的这个 interaction 这个功能，OK。那我想今天是没有时间了哈，明天我再来吧。明天5点钟，我本来是今天那课程，因为马上时间就到了，那个魏老师的时间就课程要到了，所以说我呢。这个事情呢，我们也是想跟大家来教一教大家，你知道吧？我们现在今天这个时代呢，我们不是说我们掌握多少知识、专业知识、专业技能，现在是我们AI 出来之后，我们要有一个观念的改变是什么？我们用最快的速度用 AI 来学习这些专业知识，学习这些智能，是我们要做的事情，好不好？那行，我们再见。明天晚上，大家如果说愿意的话，我再给大家讲这样我们那个本来是那个这些具体的事情，就做团购那个 Open 团购那个 Mac Mini 和那个 AI Agent 的事情，好不好？大家太晚了，我想我们今天就停到这里吧，好不好？大家如果说没有那什么了，我们就听到这里，然后一会儿薛老师那个魏老师课开始了，要不然他又生我气了，OK。那好，那我们今天就到这里，好不好？谢谢大家，谢谢大家。